Hey beautifuls, Hannah here from Reality Awareness. I've got some messages about some things, but this is base chakra week and I was like, okay, time to talk about this stuff, but I'm like, it all relates to base chakra. Funny about that. So let me just share this as always, and then I shall be super present with you. We are in the middle of base chakra week, but technically we're like moving into sacral chakra week. There's some things that have been coming through that I'm being guided to share with you. It is also full moon tomorrow, so we're very close to the full moon peak. And there's some interesting messages about that in itself that I'm feeling called to share with you. So say hi when you're here. Let me know where you're from around the world. I'm curious if this is your first time to my live stream. So welcome if it is. And all right, let me just share this for a second, wherever it is. Yeah. All right. Hi. Hello, hello. Okay. I was going to talk. I'm like, just concentrate for a second. I'm good at multitasking, but I just need to share this so I can be present because there's messages that need to be spoken today. Sweet. We are good to go. All right. Hi. Hi. Hi again, Leanne. That was so special. That Transcendence live stream this morning felt so special. But I didn't want it to end because it was like the end of Transcendence. I'm like, no, have we done 6 weeks already? Oh my God. We've been in Transcendence for the past 6 weeks. We've been in the chakra consciousness journey. Like this is week 8. So we got week 9 next week, which technically is about 10 days actually. Just over a week. And then we've been also in, well, we're in Trust Intuition, which is the 12-week, almost turning into 15-week training to become a certified intuitive healer. Yeah, it had that feeling, right? I was like, oh, I don't want this to be the last, thing. It was kind of an interesting feeling. All right, I'm just going to bring up these comments here. Perfect. From Oregon. There's a few people here from Oregon. And Kansas, yay, Tennessee. The meditations in there are so freaking powerful. I know, right? Transcendence is like next level. So if you're in Transcendence Reality Society, you have access to Transcendence. And I know they're like same name. So Transcendence Reality Society is my inner circle for reality awareness, where you get access to every course that I release, you get access to every meditation that I release, you get access to all the things that I release in reality awareness and all the time, as long as you're a member in there, of course. Transcendence though, Transcendence on its own is its own 6-week journey, and we have been on a 6-week journey transcending reality. So it's been pretty amazing, but yeah, those meditations are something else. So for those of you who've been in reality awareness for a while, or you might have like my internal compass chakra clearing meditation, they're like starting points. Transcendence is like well further along the journey, and they channeled through me last year, a bit like the crystalline chakra activations as well. So Leanne says, so worth being in Transcendence Reality Society. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Transcendence Reality Society is my inner circle. It's a monthly membership that you have access to. We do live trainings every fortnight in there, plus there's a monthly hot seat intuitive mentoring where you can be mentored by me in the group setting. And so your activation yesterday, yeah, and we do live channeled activations apparently as well, because yesterday on the Transcendence Reality Society live stream, the TRS we call it, we did a impromptu channel. I was just talking and then it just turned into this channeled activation, and I was like, oh, there we go, there's our training for today. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. I forgot about that, so there's those two. So those things come through. So I was saying something about it. Oh yeah, and so with Transcendence, the meditations that channeled through me at the end of last year are like a next level, totally next level. Some of them actually came through on the full moon ceremonies, which actually we have a full moon ceremony tomorrow. So you can join us live for the full moon ceremony. Just comment full moon below if you'd like the link for the details. And of course, if you're in Transcendence Reality Society in TRS, you also get instant access to the full moon ceremonies as well. We get access to everything. So hi Stacey, hi Fiora, yeah, so awesome. And Robinson, hi, welcome. So what was I also talking about that for? Because, oh yeah, so, and that's what I was saying, the crystalline chakra activations. So in TRS, you also get them. You get everything, but even the crystalline chakra activations, they're like next level as well. So I'm also going through, as we go through Trust Intuition, to become a certified intuitive healer. I think we're up to week 4 coming up next week, which is really exciting. I'm really loving holding it as a live training. So I think I'll only do it once a year, holding it as a live training, but I think we're definitely going to do it as a live training next year too. So a little bit excited about that because I love the trainings that we're doing in there. They're deep, they're long, but it's so awesome to do them live. So going to re-record some of the meditations as well. So things like the internal compass chakra clearing is coming in a new upgraded version. So I'm a little bit excited about that too. All right, so hi Starla, hi Jody, welcome, beautiful, lovely people from around the world. Leanne says, I'm loving it being live, it grounds it in more. Yeah, and the thing about joining a live training is that, you know, whatever channels through, of course it's the same sort of content, but it's also specifically channeled, designed, uniquely, intuitively designed for the people who are joining live, you know? And I think you just pick up so much when you do a live training. So yeah. Oh, thanks, Stacey. I absolutely love your energy. Thank you for being here. Okay, so the other thing too, there's only a few more days left of July. That means there's only a few more days that we are celebrating, well, we can always celebrate 5 years of reality awareness online, but in July, to celebrate 5 years of reality awareness online, which is a huge milestone. I'm celebrating with $97 psychic readings. They're usually $555 to get a reading with me, so you can jump in and grab one of those readings as well. And then Loaded, oh my goodness, we started Loaded 2 days ago. This is what I wanted to come on and talk about because there's only 6 places, 4 have been filled, so there's only 2 places left for Loaded, and you can still join us for that now. The link is in the title of this live stream as well. The thing with Loaded is, it was funny because I was talking to someone and she's like, oh, wasn't sure, and then I just started like rattling off about it as I do, and she's like, oh my god, I need to be in there. And I'm like, and when I said it, I was like, oh yeah, I haven't really talked about it on live stream. I haven't really, I want to say, even promoted it or talked about it, right? It's just this thing that channeled through. I'm like we're starting on the 21st. And so Loaded is a 3-month one-on-one program with me, but there's only 6 places because it's a small group as well. So you've got the little group access, which is just a Telegram group. And then there's also working one-on-one with me for 3 months. So it's pretty, I want to say intense, not really. It's just a deep dive working with me for 3 months. But the basis of Loaded is it's the physical access. It's the physical access of the light. It's transforming darkness to light. This is like, for example, one of the rules of joining Loaded is that you have to move your physical body in some physical way every day. Like, this is us getting into, like, we're good at the spiritual stuff. Like, we're good at that, right? We're empaths, we're intuitive healers, we're all that. We're good at that. We've got that down pat, right? Of course, we're doing that in there. But this is about the physical denseness. This is transforming the darkest layer of our body. This is transforming the darkest crevices of our body at highest capacity, right? So just like I said, there's different things that we're doing in there, of course, as the group. We're going to be doing fasts and juice cleanses and detoxes together over the 3 months as well. And that's why it's a little small intimate group. But the basis of moving your body like every single day is just one of them, and we're doing certain activities to really anchor the light into our physical body. So there is 2 places left for Loaded. So comment Loaded below if you'd like the link for the details for that. When I was talking about it, it's just like, oh my God, I got it. And I was like, and the reason I was sharing this here and I felt called to talk about it and let you know that there's still 2 places left is because on Sacral Chakra last week, it was just so hectic. And I think a lot of people had that feeling as well. It was just intense, right? And so with the you know, I was just like, oh, because when I thought about it, I was like, oh, yeah, I didn't really talk about it last week. And I'm like, well, I didn't live stream last week. And I'm like, my whole week last week was just, I want to say like a wipe, but I was just very dealing with stuff in my personal life. And it was so big for me that that's all I could concentrate on. Like, it was next level big. So that's why I didn't talk about it. So anyway, there's 2 more places of loaded. So comment loaded below if you'd like the details for that. So Starla says, I've just been reading about doing a full moon ritual. This then came online and this came up right away. Oh my God. Yeah. So we hold our full moon ceremony live online tomorrow. It is at midday. So about an hour ago. But it is a private group. It is a paid activity, a paid ritual, a paid ceremony, paid activity, a paid group to join just for the month. Or if you want to join the inner circle, then obviously you get that as part of your monthly membership as well. I'll talk about the full moon now actually, because, and I'll just pop that link there for you, Starla, if you'd like to have a look, and I'll pop the link in the comments for the full moon ceremony as well. So even on Thursday when I had a client, and then I was also sharing this in Transcendence Reality Society, that this full moon tomorrow feels like a new beginning. Full moons are not really for new beginnings. Like, it's usually when the moon comes to its peak, and at its peak, that's like, you know, the new moon is for new cycles, right? However, I'm really getting this sense that tomorrow's full moon is a new beginning, and hey, maybe it's like a closing of things. So if we look at this full moon, I have a feeling that this full moon is the first full moon outside of the super moons that we've just had, which have just been intense over the last 3 to 4 months. The eclipses, like, this full moon is the first one outside of that. Doreen says, I'm definitely feeling a new beginning. Yeah, so there's lots of new beginnings for people. There's lots of like paradigm shifts, and this is what I'm going to talk about that I spoke about in the title of this live stream. So the paradigm shifts, it's like layers have been lifted, the webs have been lifted. So new beginnings on the full moon, I think I said that in the title, and then it says a release of, what did I write? A release of energy like never before. It's like the cap has come off. So it's almost like whatever has been holding you back, like, and if we think about it, I think we've had retrogrades as well over this eclipse cycle, so it's just been like everything at once, right? Yes, that's right. Thank you for bringing that up, Leanne. The new beginning for TLC. So it's the new beginning, I think, if I'm remembering this correctly, because it's not my forte, this part, but the Mayan calendar. So on Sunday is the day out of time. So right now we're in the last days of the Mayan calendar. Sunday is a day out of time, and then we start a whole new calendar, like the whole new Mayan calendar, a whole new cycle. It's like a new year. So thank you for reminding me of that, because I'm like, that's what it feels like. I'm like, oh, that's right, I forgot. So on a day out of time, it's a really awesome way, like, time to reflect. Even now, you've probably found in the past week, especially on base chakra week, we're really I want to say reassessing reality, right? As I always talk about, base chakra is where we hit reality, right? It's where we birth our reality. Base chakra is all about the physicality of reality. So it's interesting that Loaded was birthed on base chakra week as well, because it's very much about the physical body, right? And so, yeah, so Penny says she's feeling better than having past 2 weeks, and it feels like we have really stepped out of one of the hardest portals. I did say mid-July that, you know, I think it was like the end of last month was really hard for people, and then I did say around mid-July we would feel like that would hang around until mid-July, and here's the breather. I'm kind of getting the sense around sort of this time next month, so around the 23rd to the end of August, it might start kicking in. It might be a little bit, I want to say, hard again, or an adjustment again of some shape, which way, shape or form. But I feel like it won't be as hard as what we've just gone through with the eclipses and the supermoons and all that, because it's been huge, right? Everything at once sucks, I know, right? Like the retrogrades and the eclipses and the supermoons, and last week we had 3 solar flares on the back of the sun, which I don't think people knew about until after the fact and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely feeling a new beginning. Yes, it's huge, right? So, and then really grounding into you. So as we like shift, and it does feel like such a release of the old, whether you're releasing old belief systems, old lifestyles, old ways that you used to live, think, be, breathe in Transcendence Reality Society. And Transcendence actually, it's been a big, I want to say reset around food and eating habits, and like it's just naturally been shifting and changing. Like foods that we used to eat don't agree with us anymore, and just we're naturally shifting and going in that direction. It also feels like we're able to take better care of ourselves, right? So if you've been, and when we're going through a hard time, it's like the hardest thing to do. It's almost like the last thing on our mind, because we've got all this other stuff to deal with in our face. And so we still take care of ourselves, but now we can really take care of ourselves. It feels like this sort of forward motion shift of just like, okay, cool, let's get stuff in order, let's organize everything, let's get clear, let's get focused, and let's take action, which is very, very base chakra right now. Penny says it feels like the veil is lifted, a recalibration of self. Exactly, right? It's like, and if we think of it in the chakra journey, we've been coming down from the crown, third eye, ears, throat, heart, and moving down through solar plexus, sacral, and base. And as I always say, we're birthing ourselves, right? And so that whole recalibration, at the crown, we're like opening up to spirit. We're bringing in new ideas. We're letting the light in, and that light then transforms all of the chakras. So we come in as an quote unquote enlightened being, rather than coming from the denseness of spirit, denseness of reality up. We're able to bring the lightness of spirit down and transform from the light into the denseness, right? Into the darkness, transforming darkness to light. Hi Kim. So definitely paradigm shifts, layers lifted, new beginnings. And I kept getting the message this morning. I found new places on my property I hadn't visited before. It was so many fairy gardens around the places, all the flowers that were out. And I kept getting that message, like, this is like a new cycle like never before. This is like a new energy shift like never before. Like, this is such a forward movement like never before. Like, life can never go back to what it was. Like, things that you used to do or used to resonate with are just not there anymore, or they're just completely fallen out of resonance with. Like, they just won't. It's almost like you're looking at it going, how was I ever in resonance with that? How did I ever resonate with that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it feels very much in that sort of energy, right? The flowers are so pretty, I know, right? So special. Okay, so what else did I want to talk about? That was pretty much it, really. The paradigms shifts, and the sense of self. And, and that's the thing with a paradigm shift. It is your physical body. It is your belief system. And, and there is a lot of, I want to say, focus on the physical reality this week, on base chakra especially. But it does feel like you're really grounding into an entirely new reality that there's no turning back from, right? In whichever way, shape, or form that is for you at this point. So, yeah, does anyone have any questions? Because I feel like I just needed to share that. I don't even know if I think the title came up on the live stream. What else is wanting to share through about that? For some reason, I needed to share that. And I feel like that full moon ceremony tomorrow will be pretty big, because it is the last one out of Transcendence as well. So in Transcendence, you also get 6 weeks, but you get access to the full moon ceremonies too. They're really powerful, those full moon ceremonies. Yeah. Do you think things are gonna be easier on us for a little while? To be honest, I feel like we're learning to adapt to the roller coaster of energy. Like, we're learning to ride the waves. Are things gonna be easier on us? Like, energetically, like, I feel that, like I said, until that sort of mid to late August, there might be another wave of it. And then again, not until sort of October, November, I feel like it'll really kick in, and we'll have to really work solidly on it. So yeah, I think it would be easier, but I think we're learning to ride those waves, definitely. Yeah. So Kim says, do you think medication can halt your spiritual journey? Yes and no. Depending, right? Because, you know, you could say, yeah, medication halts your spiritual journey, right? You could also say, yeah, alcohol, halts your spiritual journey. You could also say eating dense food, eating meat, eating chemical-laden food halts your spiritual journey. And to be honest, I'm like, nothing halts your spiritual journey. You can't stop consciousness awakening. You cannot, like, anything in the physical reality, I want to say, is like an excuse that you're using to just go and, you know, expand your consciousness, because nothing can halt your spiritual journey. Like, I really do believe that 100% wholeheartedly. If you believe that it will halt your journey, then it will. You know, but for example, you know, if you're on antidepressants, for example, and you want to, you know, get off them, if you were working with me, for example, and this is what I train with my healers in Trust Intuition Certified Healers course, is the fact that, you know, if a client wants to get off antidepressants, let's just use that example, you know, do you tell them to get off straight away? Fuck no, right? We don't do that. Only a doctor can do that, for starters, number one. But number two, you also don't just want to stop your medication, right? In any way, which shape or form, even if your doctor, well, I don't know, listen to your doctor, but you wouldn't just go and do that, right? What you would be focusing on is all the reasons why you're on the medication. So for example, you're on antidepressants because you're depressed. Well, let's look at why you're depressed. What's gone on in your life, for your entire life, for example, that has made you depressed, yeah? And we want to clear all that out, because if you try and release a medication or an addiction of any sort of which shape or form, you know, when we take that away, all of this stuff that you're using that to suppress that, right? Or support yourself to handle life whilst that's being pushed down, right? This is important. It's not bad. It's a coping mechanism so that you can function in reality, right? In society. You want to, before you release all of this, you want to deal with all this stuff, right? And that's why working with a healer over a long period of time is better than just a once-off session, okay? Because a once-off session is not going to heal a lifetime worth of shit, yeah? So when you do work on this stuff, your medication can get less and less and less, because it doesn't have to hold all of this down anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's the same with an addiction, the same concept there, yeah? Yeah, you like more natural things, yeah. So definitely nothing can halt your spiritual journey. You can't stop consciousness awakening. Of course, certain things are going to help accelerate your spiritual journey, like doing detoxes, getting chemicals out of your body, a solid meditation routine. Like, there's definitely things that are going to accelerate your spiritual evolution, but nothing can halt it, only if you believe so. Yeah, so important. All right. Well, that just feels like the message to come on and share with you guys today is the paradigm shifts, the full moon tomorrow. Loaded has started. There's 2 more places there. You know, it's a new beginnings on this full moon. So I really like this energy, because the full moon is usually like a, you know, finalizing energy, which technically it kind of is. If we look at that, it's tomorrow, and then so it's the end of the Mayan calendar. So it's the end of a cycle. And then the day out of time, and then the whole new cycle. And how's the timing? The integration week starts on Monday, which is when the Mayan calendar starts again. Like, that kind of blows my mind as well. Because, you know, when I when I set my calendar, I don't, you know, like, I don't plan it in a sense of like, I'm just like, cool, like, I'll get a date. I was like, okay, when do we start Trust Intuition? Okay, on that date. When are we doing the Chakra Conscious journey? Okay, on that date. And I put it all in my calendar, and like, literally, like, Trust Intuition is based in your solar plexus. It's all about taking your power back in a way, right? Releasing trauma, taking your power back, self-confidence, self-worth, etc. Now, on the chakra journey consciousness, we're doing a chakra a week. Yeah, we're at base chakra week, as you guys know. Trust Intuition started on the solar plexus week. Now, well before, this is months ago, I had a team meeting, and I don't know, we were looking at something, and they're like, oh, we could start Trust Intuition 2 weeks later. And start the chakra journey 2 weeks later. And I was like, nah, it needs to stay there. And then when I filled out Trust Intuition, I was like, oh my God, it starts on the solar plexus week. And if I changed it, these other things wouldn't have lined up either. Like, if we look at it, like, the base chakra is like technically the finish of the chakras, because on Monday we start integration, which is we go through a chakra a day. So we're integrating the whole, 9 weeks. And I'm like, and it starts on the new calendar. Let's start by integrating everything we've learned over the past year. I'm like, oh my goodness. Intuitive timing, I tell you what. Amazing. Yes, I shall share the full moon ceremony stuff in there for you. I'll just pop the link in for you there, Kristen. Leanne says, everything feels shiny and new to me. That's how it feels, right? It really does feel that way, for sure. Yeah, I love that so much. It's definitely the vibe. New things, new beginnings, transcending reality, and really being present with your reality. It does feel like an amazing new cycle. So let us welcome it in with open arms, and that feels like it's all. So I'm going to love you guys and leave you, and I shall see you really soon. Keep it real. I love you. Bye.